Hello, we are here today to learn about FTP uploads. So FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol. We need an FTP client, which is pretty much just like an app that allows you to access a web server and then put your files on it. It doesn't do anything else. You can't edit, you really can't edit code on there. You can't really do anything that we're doing with any of the software that we're doing in school. We're just uploading some files to your designated web space. Okay, so if you are at school, you're going to use a program called Fetch, which is on all the NEIU computers. If you are not at school, if you want to download something on your own device, I would highly recommend FileZilla. It is free and it's easy to use. I'm going to demo how to use CyberDuck, which I have and looks kind of similar to Fetch. And I'm also going to demo how to use FileZilla in this so that visually, you put the same information in everything, but visually they look a little different. So I'm just going to show you how to navigate both, okay? So most important thing to remember is that the NEIU system uses SFTP, which means Secure File Transfer Protocol. As you can imagine, an institution like NEIU would probably want you to transfer your files securely so that we don't get any mess going on in the NEIU web space. By the NEIU web space, I mean the NEIU server. So anything that NEIU has that is a web product is hosted on their server, and every student also has space on that server, okay? So if you can imagine, there's a big old web server somewhere that has all of NEIU's web files on it, and inside those files is a folder with your name on it that you can put your own stuff in and then link with a URL to, and you can see your project live on the interwebs. So what's important to keep in mind is that when we are setting up our little applet, or putting the information in there, either in Fetch or FileZilla or CyberDuck, make sure that it's set to SFTP. Some programs won't give you the option to either select SFTP or FTP. They're also represented by what's called the port over here, okay? So FTP is a port 21, SFTP is 22. So long story short, either toggle down and select SFTP or put port 22 in there. It means the same thing. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to show you how to do is I'm going to show you how to head on over to CyberDuck. I'll show you how to set up CyberDuck first, okay? So in here, what we're going to do, the server is going to be, it's going to look like this. homepages.neiu.edu, okay? homepages.neiu.edu. So we'll put this in CyberDuck. I'm showing you CyberDuck because it's going to look more like Fetch than FileZilla. So I'm going to show you both. We're going to put homepages.neiu.edu in server. We're going to change the FTP to SFTP, or again, you can change the port to 22. And then in here, you're going to put your username or your password. Rabia has been nice enough to share with me her username and password, because my web space looks really different from a student web space. So I want to show you what your student web space is going to look like. So you just put your NEIU username and password in without, obviously, the @NEIU. And then you would just hit connect, okay? So we can also do this in FileZilla, and it'll give you a document tree once you hit connect here, okay? Might give you some, all right, so here we go. So I'll show you how to upload in here, but before I go here, I'll show you also what it might look like in another program. This is the same exact program, it's just a different program. It's the same exact thing, just a different program. This is going to be like your local directory. This is representing your computer. This is the internet. This is the one we want to look at. If you find this confusing, you can go up to View, and you can turn off the the local directory tree. Turn that off, and then you only get the remote directory tree here, okay? So this is the one, the remotes that we want to look on. So again, you're going to put, the host is going to be homepages.neiu.edu, your username, then your password, And then notice how it doesn't have the option to do SFTP or FTP. It doesn't have that drop down. You just put 22 in here. Again, it means the same thing. So we hit quick connect. It's going to connect. It might give you some like weird message, whatever. Just click OK. Especially if you're at school, it'll be fine. Okay, so as you can see, kind of looks similar to what we have in CyberDuck. So I'm going to go back to CyberDuck and just show you how to get to where the files are supposed to go there, and then I'll show you how to do it in here as well. It's the same exact thing, just visually a tiny bit different. Okay, so in CyberDuck, you want to go in this HTTP folder because that means the internet. Anything that is inside of your HTTP folder is going to end up displayed on the internet as a web page. So I'm going to toggle this open, okay? And so Rabia has some stuff in here already, all right? She has a bunch of different things in here because she's been in my web class before. So if you're going to upload your whole folder, it will just affect the name of your file, okay? So let's open up one of Rabia's files, okay? So it's just followed by the directory, right? So the way that you're going to find your files is like this. So Rabia has this HTTP folder, and then she has a folder called Patatap, and then an HTML file in there, and then all of those files that you have in your file structure tree, right? So the way that we get to this live on the internet is like so. That's what this is for. Okay, this is your actual web space. It looks like this. I'm going to just copy and paste it into the browser here. And you need this tilde, and you're going to put literally your NEIU username in here. So then another slash, what folder you're going into, if you're going into a folder. So I'm going to go into Rabia's Patatap folder, slash, and then the name of the HTML file that you're looking for. So you're kind of just going through, like, just like you're setting up, just like you're linking to files in your web projects. This is how you're finding that specific file. So check it out. We're going in the HTTP folder at your NEIU web space. Okay, we're finding Rabia. We're finding that username. We're going inside of the Patatap folder. And then we're trying this truth-or alternative-fact HTML. So I'm going to put that in. Truth dash, what was it? Shit. Truth or alternative fact. Can I copy this? Nah. .html. Okay, so if I hit enter, it's going to take me to that web space. Okay, so this is Rabia's project that she built in one of my classes. All right, so that's exactly how you're going to get to your project. All right, so the same thing here. As you can see, if you open up the HTTP folder, there's the Patatap folder. There's the truth or alternative fact project. Okay, so almost the exact same thing. Okay, so now what I'll show you to do is I'll show you how to actually upload your project. So I'm going to use Alex's project, which I have previously downloaded. And it just kind of depends like how you want your URL to look. If you want to have like slashes and go inside of folders, that would be totally fine. Otherwise, you can just put an index file in here and it'll automatically link to that file. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to upload the entire folder. So I have Alex's folder in here. Okay, I'm going to open it up. Great. And so if your files are organized appropriately, then this should be really easy for you. So all you're going to do is you're going to just grab your file and you're going to dump it into the HTTP folder. It's really important it goes inside of the HTTP folder. If it goes anywhere else, this will not work. So I'm just going to dump it in here, and I'm going to hit allow, and it's going to take a minute to upload. The down arrow means something's downloading. I think I just accidentally downloaded this file, and the upload is the up arrow. Okay, so even though this is Alex's project, I'm still going to be able to get to it via Rabia's web space. So whatever your username is, you will obviously sub this out for Rabia's username. Okay, so I have the homepages.neau.edu, that's what goes first, a slash, a tilde, your username and password, the folder slash folder you want to go into, because remember that slash means go into that folder. We have Wayback Web slash, and then I'm going to see what the name of Alex's homepage is. So Alex's homepage is, I'm imagining it's going to be Wayback Web, whatever your homepage is. You'll just name it that. Okay, so we'll do slash waybackweb.html. Okay, so just hit enter. All right, so there is Alex's project live uploaded onto the internet. So as you can imagine, you would do the same thing in FileZilla. So you would just go ahead and just drag your whole folder in there. And then it's really just about like navigating to that exact folder in your NEIU web space.